Bottoms up.
Models Inc., Monday at 8:30.
Tonight, the latest on the sex assault case against a Prince Edward Island doctor.
Looking for leadership, Tories in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia examine the party's future.
And East Coast music means big bucks in the Maritimes.
Now, from the #1 news team in Atlantic Canada, the ATV Evening News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Janice, Landry. Thanks for joining us tonight.
And I'm Phonse Jessome. Jonathan Gravener has the night off.
After 16 hours of deliberation, the jury is still out at the sexual and indecent assault trial of Summerside Dr. Douglas Cameron.
The 7 women and 5 men were sequestered at 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon and have returned to court 3 times since then. Dan Vio is currently at the courthouse in Summerside. Dan, is there any indication yet when a verdict might be reached?
Well, Phonse, it's clear the jury members are making progress, but it looks like it will be some time yet before verdicts are in on all of the 15 counts of indecent and sexual assault against Dr. Cameron. Last night, after deliberating for about 6 hours, the jury returned to court to hear a tape of Dr. Cameron's own testimony related to one of the alleged offensive breast examinations. Now, at noon today, the jury members were back in court again, asking Madam Justice Matheson to define the words rationalization, speculation, probability, and possibility. In other words, reasonable doubt. And just over an hour ago, the jury returned again to listen to testimony from another of the women who alleges Dr. Cameron subjected them to medically unnecessary and sexually degrading breast examinations.
Dan, do you get a sense, based on the questions the jury is asking, as to where they are in their deliberations currently?
Well, Phonse, while we can't be sure how they're considering the 15 counts, last night they listened to testimony on the 3rd of the 15, as laid before the court. This afternoon they were listening to the 7th count. If they're moving one at a time, they're almost halfway through.
What about that question on reasonable doubt? Does that appear to favor one side or the other in terms of the Crown or the prosecution here?
I don't think it favors the Crown or defense, Phonse. What it does say is the jury is really grappling with 2 versions of the alleged improper examinations. One from the women who say they remember what the doctor did to them and how it degraded and offended them, and the other from the doctor who denies many of the allegations and says he only used valid medical techniques. Now, because each of the verdicts on the 15 counts must be unanimous, it's taking a long time. It means 12 people must completely agree 15 times, guilty or not guilty.
And of course, those 12 people have been deliberating now for a full day and a half. How late will they go tonight before they have to give it up for another night?
Well, it's been a long and tiring haul so far, Phonse. It looks like the jury will likely stay at it until around 9 tonight and then retire until tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, along with the judge, the lawyers, police, Dr. Cameron, and many of the women who testified during the trial, I'll be here waiting for the verdicts.
Thanks very much, Dan Vio, in Summerside at the courthouse. And of course, if a verdict comes in the next hour, we will try to get it to you. If not, tune into the ATV Late News with John Waterman tonight at 12:30 for the latest. Janice?
The Nova Scotia Conservative.
News breaks. The ATV News team is there with complete reports you know you can rely on. There's news you can use on Live at 5 and world events with a maritime outlook on the ATV Evening News with Steve Murphy.
Monday, 7 years ago, he became a Canadian hero. This great Olympian is still very much in demand. Next stop for Mark Tewksbury, New Brunswick Special Olympics.
Monday at 5 and 6 on ATV.
Are you sick of it yet? Well, a cold front brought snow and high winds across parts of the Midwest U.S. yesterday. Sub-zero wind chills were reported from the Rockies to the western Great Lakes. Some places saw the temperature dip to, get this, minus 60 degrees. Let's hope that weather stays south of the border. I can't stand it myself personally. Well, Phil McLaughlin has the night off, but our weather coverage continues right now as my co-host steps into Phil's shoes. And Phonse, those are big shoes to fill. What do you got?
Well, we've got some cold, but nothing like you talked about down to the south, and we'll see if those systems can't maybe stay down there. The system that brought some snow into the region, most parts of the region today, was a fast-moving system. It will be moving out this evening, leaving behind a powdery 5 to 10 centimeters of fresh snow. This feature will intensify, though, as it moves east toward Newfoundland, and what's going to happen as it moves east is it's going to drag a high-pressure system in from Quebec, and along with it, some very cold temperatures. Now, an area of fair weather will come with that high pressure, bringing mostly sunshine to the region, but there will also be some strong northwest winds, and very, very cold temperatures will result in the high wind chills, or feel like temperatures of about minus 30 or so for the next couple of days. If that happens fast tonight after the bit of snow, you better watch out for black ice out there as well. Any snow activity for the next couple of days will be restricted to where the wind blows on shore, places like Prince Edward Island, Cape Breton, and along the Northumberland shore of northern Nova Scotia. However, it will be mainly this cold area of weather that will fend off any disturbances that attempt to move in for the next couple of days. The next one possibly not now until midweek. The forecast then this evening, as you can see from the weather map, the snow will come to an end in all communities. It's really finished in most areas now, a few flurries visible still in some areas. You can see here the arrows representing that cold air that will be moving in from Quebec. It is going to bring some chilly temperatures up in northern New Brunswick, looking at minus 20, minus 16, minus 17, and 15 down in the south. Flurries for tonight, though, mainly where these winds hit coastal areas, Prince Edward Island, northern Nova Scotia, area around between Digby and St. John there as well. It's a brisk west wind overnight that is going to bring those temperatures. It will be mainly clear, though. You'll get to see the moon in New Brunswick, not so much over in Prince Edward Island down to the south. Tomorrow, much the same story as far as New Brunswick. Mainly clear, lots of sunshine, a few flurries up along the northern area, and possibly again in the Digby to St. John area here. Temperatures in the morning in northern New Brunswick, minus 18, minus 16, minus 15 to 13 to the south. Now in Nova Scotia, deceivingly low temperatures in the morning, minus 8, minus 10, I should say, deceivingly high temperatures. As you can see the arrows here, the winds will shift by tomorrow morning, forcing even more cold air into our region, and that means by tomorrow afternoon the temperatures will drop steadily, looking at values more along the minus 18 range, and the winds again bringing it to about feel like temperatures of around minus 30. So it will be sunny and nice tomorrow for the next couple of days actually, but it is going to be very cold. Here's what we've got in store for the next few days. Beginning of the work week, pretty much the same story that we're looking at here in much of the Maritimes tomorrow. Windy, cold, minus 12, some flurries in the southern part of the region, sunshine mainly over New Brunswick. By Tuesday, we're looking at the temperatures are going to begin to come up a bit, but the probability of precipitation as well, we're looking at 60%. Just snow flurries, though, nothing too dramatic, minus 8 daytime highs, a little closer to normal for February, and some flurries. By Wednesday, daytime high about minus 4, sunny in the north, more flurries again throughout the region, 60% probability of precipitation. Janice?
Well, Phonse, you did a great job, my friend. It certainly looked fun. Well, money can't buy you love, but it may help you find it. And one woman is ready to show you how, just in time for Valentine's Day. Janice has the story.
What are you looking for?